Hello! What are we talking about today? I don't know, we don't plan all of this. I feel like we should say, like, what? Who's saying what when? Hey Pab Loves!
Welcome back to our channel.
Today we're going to talk about how to make money from your Instagram.
Alright, so we got 5 tips for you guys on how to make money off your Instagram. Number 1 is...
find a niche. When you go to Instagram, there are so many different communities and types of content that you can make. And so if you're setting out to make money off your Instagram, you should think about, well, where do I fit on this app? Am I a dog page? Am I a lifestyle page? Am I gonna make travel content? Am I a foodie? Depending on what type of content you're gonna make really influences how you're gonna go about this process.
And a way to narrow that down is asking yourself what you're passionate about. Do you like fitness? Is that a big part of your life? Do you like cooking? You know, think about things that you're passionate about genuinely, not just things that you see on the internet that look cool, but that's a really important part because naturally it'll be easier if it's something you actually like. So other than finding your niche, number 2 is making your Instagram page marketable.
What do you mean by marketable?
Marketable, like having a brand, having like a theme. Your
Instagram is your portfolio. So make sure that just like with your portfolio or your CV or your resume, you have all of your I's dotted and your T's crossed. Make sure that you have a really clean profile picture. You want your bio to be simple but also very descriptive in a way that represents the content that you're going to make. Make your content clean, so not just whatever you feel like it. Edit your pictures. Really make it seem like your content is something that stands out from someone else's.
It's not really about the number of followers they have or things like that. I know smaller profiles who are making money from their Instagram just because they have a great brand, and brands love working with very clean aesthetics. So things with like white walls, bright colors, just very clean and minimal, I think is something that brands always look towards. Sometimes brands even like adventure outdoor photos. So whatever you do, just make it very clean and professional. Make sure it's not cluttered, but something you can see that's like in an ad, basically. When we started off Instagram, we had no idea. Like our Instagrams were a little cluttered. We didn't edit our photos. We weren't in marketing. We were both psych majors in college. Yeah, we just weren't aware of the idiosyncrasies that come with building a brand, and we just want to make sure that like if you are starting off, just to make sure that your content is starting off clean and on the right foot. Number 3.
Network with brands. So there are a lot of accounts on Instagram, specifically within your niche, specifically within your community, maybe with the same number of followers, maybe more followers than you. So why would a brand want to work specifically with you? Well, one of the reasons is because you built a relationship with them. Think about the brands that you would want to work with, maybe those that you know have a budget to work with influencers, and make sure that you follow them. Comment on their pictures, send them messages, respond to them. You want to get on their radar so that when they do have an opportunity that they're looking out for you.
If you did find something you're passionate about, you should already be using a lot of these products. Like we were really passionate about dogs, and we were already using a bunch of pet products. So along the way, you know, I would tag them in the stories. We were not sponsored by anyone for a long time, and I would just constantly be tagging them, building a relationship with them, being like, oh, I use these products on a daily. And it was a genuine relationship, so that when they were looking for an influencer, they were like, oh, this is someone who naturally already uses the product. I already know who they are. I already know what their content is like, and they might be more willing to reach out to you as opposed to cold calling some random influencer that maybe they've never even used their products. So it's really cool that you can like start tagging them on Instagram, following them, engaging with them, commenting on their content, and really just building that rapport with brands.
Don't be too good or too big to tag people. I know that some people might think that's reserved for like being paid or like, you know, very intentional purposes, but you're building a relationship. You can't be too good just to tag the brand if you're using their product. That might limit the opportunities you have because you're taking yourself out of the conversation when they're thinking about who to work with.
I started tagging brands mostly because people would ask me what I was using, and I was like, oh, maybe I should like tag them and let my followers also know that, hey, this is the brand that we use, this is where we get it from, and I really like their products. So it was already like a natural, organic relationship that I already had with the brand, and then it turned into more collaborations, which was really awesome.
Not all of the networking needs to happen over social media. So we've done some networking with brands through going to some events that they've hosted. I know that sometimes brands are, I know that that's limited given COVID right now, but like when things do resume, it's often that brands are doing, especially like within your niche, are holding pop-up events or sponsoring community events or gatherings of some sort. And so we would go out to those events, figure out, make content, tag them since we were already at their event, and then that would lead to us getting in conversations with people either in person or later on social media about potential ways we can work together.
Yeah, but it is truly about networking, and I think that's really important. Like, make friends with your community members and other influencers, and also see what brands they're working with. It's really important if you see like, oh, someone did an ad. Oh, maybe that brand has a budget for marketing influencers. And a good way to do it is just emailing or DMing the brand. That's something we didn't learn until later on, which leads into tip number 4, which is being prepared. What does that mean?
Being prepared means having all necessary information available so that when brands do want to work with you, you can give them the data that they're looking for. So what data might you need to provide to brands? Well, it might be the number of followers you have, but it also might mean other statistics like engagement rate, the demographics of your following, like age and gender and geographical location. And most people compile this information into a media kit, and I didn't know what a media kit was when we started this. I definitely had to look it up, but what a media kit is, it's like a portfolio, a visual portfolio of the work that you've done. It might include past work, some statistics, some rates that you have, some descriptions of maybe your brand, what you have to offer to.
And that leads into just making sure that you don't have a personal Instagram page, but transfer it to a business account. And that's really simple. Just go to your settings and make sure you have it on business. So that shows your analytics for Instagram and insights. So how much reach your posts have, how much engagement your audience has. And it also breaks down like your audience from male, female, general locations. That's really important to brands to know that like your audience fits their demographic audience as well.
Yeah, and the reason why they might ask for engagement statistics is because the number of followers that you have isn't indicative of the number of people that's going to see their ad that they're looking to post on your page. So you can have 100,000 followers, but if you're only getting a couple hundred likes or only a small percentage of your following is actually seeing your content, they might go for someone who has maybe fewer followers but a larger percentage of their following sees their content. So again, it's not just about the number of followers, it's about the quality of your followers and the quality of the engagement that you have on your page.
Yeah, I've seen like 100,000 page Instagrams and they'll have like 500 likes. I would see like 20,000 account followers, right? And they'll have like 2,000 likes. So that just shows like the quality of people's work and the professionalism. Really, engagement is what companies are looking for nowadays.
Something else to include on your media kit or just have available is your past work. So if you've worked with brands for free or for free content or as an affiliate, even if you weren't in a formal relationship with them, if you've made content that you think is reflective of the work that you could do for this brand, that's good to have. When we talk about being prepared, something to also have in mind is how much are you willing to charge for your services. Some people charge different rates for different types of content. So if we're gonna post in feed on our Instagram, we have a rate for a picture, and then we have a rate for a video, because those are two different types of content that require different amounts of production. We also have a different rate for stories and the number of stories we're willing to offer for a certain rate. We might have a bundle package where if we're working with a brand over a couple months or a couple posts, we might offer a lower rate per post. Thinking about how much money you want to charge for your services is really up to you. There are some resources online that try to give you a range for what might be the going rate for how many followers you have or how much engagement you get. A rule of thumb that I follow is that you can charge about $100 per 10,000. And so if you have about 100,000 followers, you can charge about $1,000 per post. Again, that really fluctuates between what the budget is of the brand, what the terms of the collaboration are, but really like have a range for what you're willing to work with, because if you don't have one, you might be getting shorted on how much money you could be making in that type of collaboration. There are also platforms out there specifically for helping influencers and content creators get connected to brands. Some of our favorite are Aspire IQ, Activate, I think Popular Pays is another one. And what's cool about these websites or platforms is that you can go on them and browse through campaigns that companies have listed for potential influencers, and then you can apply. What's really important though about these platforms are that you pitch yourself, right? You can't just go on there, click I want to make money off this campaign and expect to get chosen. So my advice to you is to make sure that you have a pitch ready, have the information available. So if you have your media kit or examples of your work ready, make sure you have that. Pitching to the campaign or company as to why you think you're the best for this campaign. A lot of these platforms are free to sign up, and usually you don't need any type of prerequisite in order to create an account. And what's interesting about these platforms is that different companies will put different campaigns on different platforms, and so our advice to you is to sign up for as many as you can get connected to and start applying. What's really cool about these online platforms is that you link directly with the person in charge of marketing with content creators and influencers. And so you don't have to spend a bunch of time online sorting through potential emails in order to get in contact with the right person. These type of platforms are a one-stop shop in order for you to find potential opportunities.
And so that leads us to our last tip, which is number 5, and that's to just take some risk. Like, learn to negotiate and the power of asking for things. When we started, we started a lot with free items. It wasn't until we started asking brands if they had a budget for marketing influencers.
Yeah, sometimes brands would be like, hey, like, we really want to send you this thing, or we really want you to check out this product. Can we send it to you? Can you share it on your story? Can you share it on your feed? And before, we would just either be like, oh no, because we know, like, no, we wouldn't do this for free, or we would do it for free. And we wouldn't put up any resistance. We wouldn't ask for anything, even though we believed that our work was worth being compensated for. So just by telling them that our work is something that we expect to be compensated for has turned into money into our pockets, because they know that we're not going to be taken advantage of or produce work for free. And if they really want it, they're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah, so just, value yourself and your brand, and know that that's something you've worked really hard on, and, have the brands value you as well. There are plenty of brands out there that want to work with you and will value your work and compensate you for that. So I think it's really important to just keep that in mind and don't be discouraged, but continue reaching out. You honestly have nothing to lose.
Yeah, the worst they can say is no. And like, these are people you don't know. These are brands that like might not have ever given you money anyways. And so it's worth asking.
Yeah, and just another thing to note, like, we've only worked with brands on products that we usually like. And I know there's some people out there that just work with any brands that reach out to them, but there's like some sketchy brands out there, and they're not really established, and it's kind of random, and they're doing like weird drop shipment stuff, and it's just really weird. So just be suspicious of some weird brands and emails. Like, just make sure they have a pretty good presence on Instagram. Their products are good. Something I've done is just like ask them if they can send me the product beforehand, and then I'll test it out and see if my dog even likes it, or if it's even good quality, because I wouldn't want to be selling this or like advertising something to my audience that I don't truly believe in. That's really discouraging, and you might have a mistrust with your audience and then your content, which is something you don't want. That might be something I'd unfollow someone on. Like if I was following an influencer and then they advertised this like booty T-Tox thing and I ordered it and I didn't get a big booty, like, I would be mad.
Yeah, so learn to do a vibe check on the brands that reach out to you. If it seems bawdy or like a spam type of email.
Going Alicia's.
Ooh.
Looking at you.
That's those silly water bottles where they're like, I'll give you 30% of the commission. Just do a vibe check. If it seems too good to be true, if it seems like a product that isn't something that's trustworthy, isn't something that you've heard of before, I would be really suspicious of it. Don't sell out for just a little bit of money.
But overall, we just wanted to make this video because we get a lot of questions about how we monetize on Instagram, how we get these paid collabs, and how this all comes. But honestly, we've been working on our Instagram for about 4+ years now. And from someone, this is all advice that we've just learned along the way. In no way are we marketing specialists at all. Like, this is just based purely on our experience being new to this world, and we just want to share some of these tips with you all if you're thinking about making this maybe like a side gig. I know times are tough right now, and if you have these talents, it's a great way to make some money. It's really given us community, and honestly have made us better content creators. Truly, just be authentic. Like, going into this, we had no idea what this world was. It was like a complete mystery to us, so.
And try to be patient. I remember when I thought we made it, I was like, oh, we hit like 10,000 followers. Like, oh, we're gonna get brand deals now. And then we hit 50,000 followers, and I'm like, we're gonna get brand deals now. And I mean, it happens at a different it happens at a different time for everyone. I don't think we had consistent deals until we hit about 100,000, but some people get consistent deals for 20,000 or 50,000. But enjoy the process, and just don't be mad if it's not happening on your timeline, because it's a very delicate process.
Yeah, definitely. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope that it was helpful.
We love you all. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and like the video below.
And we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!
Bye, everyone.